So, there is a lot of wrestling this weekend. So, you guys are going to be swathed in content from me this weekend. Yeah. All in. Saturday night's main event on the same day, and then on Sunday, Evolution. Gonna be a lot of stuff to cover. So, without any further ado, let us get into AEW All In Texas. My predictions for the show, and who I think is going to win the bigger matches. Now, I'm not going to cover the pre-show. I checked. There are 2 matches on the pre-show. FTR versus the Outrunners, and the Conglomeration and Big Boom AJ taking on the Don Callis family. I will report on those matches during my review for the show, which will come out at some point tomorrow. Probably, I'll have it recorded most likely after the show is over. Don't know when I will post it, though, because I'll probably immediately go into watching Saturday night's main event. But that's for future me to deal with. Present me needs to talk about who I think is going to win these matches. So first up, let us do each respective Casino Gauntlet match. So first we'll do the men's one. Winner, of course, is going to get a future AEW World Title shot. Really, I only see one guy potentially winning this, and I think it's MJF. I sincerely think it'll be MJF who wins this. Not unless they pull something completely out of the bag and shock the audience, which I sincerely doubt that they'll do. But my assumption is that MJF will probably win that Casino Gauntlet match. And then for the women's, I'm going to have to say Athena. I think Athena will probably win that Casino Gauntlet match. And we'll get into my reasoning. In fact, we'll just get into it now. AEW Women's World Title match. Timeless Toni Storm versus Mercedesmone. This one is real coin flip odds. You could really go either or in this instance of okay, you can have Monet win it and continue with her belt collecting, or you have Toni win it and start a bit of a downward spiral for Mercedes. You start to tell that story a little bit. But I think what they will end up doing is I think Mercedes will probably win the AEW Women's title, and then you tell that story with Athena, because they fought. I believe they fought, Mercedes and Athena. They fought in the Owen tournament, and Mercedes won, but Athena is still ROH Women's Champ. So if Mercedes goes after that, I think that will be a major wake-up call for Mercedes, because I think Athena will probably retain, and then she'll have the confidence to go after Mercedes' other belts that she has. And sure enough, Mercedes just gets less and less belts. So my assumption is that Mercedesmone is probably going to win this one. Moving on to the tag title match, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, taking on Jet Speed, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. Triple threat for the AEW tag titles. I'm going to have to say that the Hurt Syndicate will probably find a way in retaining these tag titles. Whether it be because they might end up doing this, they may not, but I'm going to say that the patriarchy might implode on this show. They may implode on this show. And so I don't think because I think Kevin Knight is probably there to probably take the pin or the submission from somebody on the Hurt Syndicate. And because if they do end up splitting up the patriarchy in this match, then you don't want to have someone pin one of the members of the patriarchy. So my assumption is Kevin Knight will probably be the fall guy in that instance. But Hurt Syndicate will probably most likely retain their tag team titles. Moving on to the TNT title match, Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher. This one's going to be pretty good between two very physical guys. If I were to give the edge to somebody, I'd give it to Fletcher, because I think Fletcher is really earned it, and I think deserved it, in my opinion. I think he's been putting on some really, really good stuff as of late, and I think he deserves a run with a mid-card title. And I wouldn't be mad if Cole retained that title, but I think it would be even cooler to see it in somebody else's hands for a little bit, which is why I say Fletcher will win the TNT title. So both Battle Royals, tag title, women's title, TNT title. Tag match, Young Bucks versus Swervestrickland and willospreay. If the Bucks lose, they are no longer EVPs of the company. If Swerve and Ospreay lose, neither of them can challenge for the AEW World title for a year. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Because again, both roads can lead to some very interesting storytelling. Oh man, this is gonna be a hard one to pick. If I had to pick a team, I'm going to say the Bucks will win. And the only reason why I say the Bucks will win, and this may factor into who comes in during the Casino Gauntlet match, Swerve and Ospreay could enter themselves into that gauntlet match and try and get a world title match, just to kind of backdoor their way into a title shot. But again, I think MJF is probably going to win the Casino Gauntlet match. But I'm thinking the Bucks are probably going to win this match. Trios title match, the Ops, Joe, Shibata, and Hobbs take on the Death Riders, Claudio, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd subbing in for Pac, who is injured at the moment. I'm thinking that the Ops are probably going to retain their trios titles in this instance, mainly because, well, we'll get into it in a little bit here, but I'm thinking that this will probably be the final blows for the Death Riders in this instance, which segues us perfectly into the AEW World Title match in a Texas Death Match. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page. It's gotta be Page, right? It's gotta be, because if they don't pull the trigger now, there's going to be a lot of pissed off people in Texas tomorrow, and things might get really chaotic really quickly. So that's another reason why I'm saying like Hangman should probably win this, and also another reason I think it's the perfect time to like put a cap on the Death Riders and have them go off into the sunset with grace. Maybe not grace to some others, but grace in my opinion anyway. So yeah, I'm thinking Hangman Page is probably going to win back his championship. And so there you have it. Those are my predictions for AEW All in Texas. Again, don't know when my review is going to be posted for the show, but I will have recorded it right after the show has concluded. So be sure to stick around on the channel for my coverage of the show after the show has happened. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Saturday to watch the show. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there, and I will catch you guys next time.